What's going on, guys? It's Tim here with A4 Outdoors again, and I wanted to do a quick video to kind of give you some information. We've got 3,000 miles on the machine now, and I've actually upgraded the radius rods from LM-UTV to the high clearance radius rods. Whole lot beefier and everything like that. So I did that probably 2,500 miles ago. So they've been on there 2,500 miles. And I did notice that the rear end was getting a little loose, starting to squeak pretty good. And when I started to shape these, I noticed I was getting play kind of in my bushings or bearings back here that connect. So 2,000 to 3,000 miles, we ride pretty rocky terrain, pretty quick, stuff like that. These wear out. Just in case you did not know, you can rebuild these radius rods. You do not have to spend $7,000, $8,000, $9,000, $10,000 and buy new radius rods. So I called LM-UTV. The guy was super helpful. He's like, search on here. Anyway, blah, blah, blah. They have the Heims, the new bearings with bushings and everything that you can purchase. It's hard to find if you just try to go on there to search like your machine. So if you type in bearings, I believe it'll pop up. But anyway, these are 5/8. It's pretty standard that comes on these radius rods and everything. So the guys from LM-UTV sent me all new hardware to rebuild these. Comes with, like I said, your bushings, your bearings, your little rubber O-rings, the Heims, everything. So what you do, I didn't do an installation video because you do need a press to press these out of your radius rods. So you're gonna have to press that one, this one on both sides, these 4, and then the one on the bottom. So you've got 6 total. Now I have, just to kind of give you an idea, I shook my tires, I jacked it up, shook the tires, wheel bearing was good, up and down, left and right. That's where I was getting some play, and I could actually see the play and the Heim joints, the bushings in or the bearings in the Heim joints and everything, and in the radius rods themselves moving. Play here and some play down there. So when you get a little bit of play here and there, it transfers to a lot of play at the tire. So this is just one of the Heim joints there that goes in. That way you can adjust your your camber, caster, toe, all that good stuff on the X3. It's hard to tell in the video, but these they get kind of just loose, and then you can take them, and I don't know if you can kind of tell, but you get movement there, and even though it doesn't seem like a lot, when you have everything's tight and it starts to squeak and stuff like that, you really can't do anything about it. So that little bit of movement there, and then say the other end, little bit of movement on the other end, and then so they actually send you all new joints for the end. They just unscrew. I think these are going to be right-hand thread. No, the right-hand thread, then you got to have this one set for left-hand thread. And they'll send you all that. You just tell them what you got. So they sent me all new of the joints that go on there. Super easy. You just measure it, make sure you're exact. So I'll probably do an alignment also when I get finished, because it's probably not going to be exactly the way it was when I took it off. But they'll send you all that. And then here is the bearings that come out. I've actually still got my bushing in it. So this is what will come out of your radius rods here. You will have to have a press to press these out, but as you can see here, the movement, click, click, click. I mean, it moves quite a bit. So these were worn out, and that was creating some wobble in the back. That little bit of wobble is gonna hurt your wheel bearings and other things. So they send you the correct ones for these, and then they give you the bushings that goes in there. This one's not going to go back in there, but anyway, and then they send you all of the new rubber gaskets that kind of keeps dirt and debris out of there, the rubber O-rings, I'm sorry. And they sent me all the new little clips for it. So snap ring pliers, you get to take that out. So when you change these, I don't have a press here. My buddy's got one, so we went over there and pressed them out and everything. So when you change these, you have to take the radius rods off, unbolt those 6 bolts, unbolt your 3 bolts at your hub, take your, all that stuff off. But anyway, once you take that off, your pull plate will come off, then you just take your radius rods off. Take the snap ring, you get some snap ring pliers, you take those off, and then you are ready to press. Once you set it up in the press, you get the right thing, and then you have to press these out. And when you get your new pieces, clean it up nice, and then you'll press these back in. If you don't have a press, you got to have one. So you're going to have to take it somewhere, or I'm going to actually buy the press like he has, the Harbor Freight one, pretty soon, because I've been using it a lot recently with wheel bearings and this stuff like that. So I'm going to go ahead and get those. But anyway, all right. Once you change those on your radius rods, put all new ones in it. So I've got it all back together here. I haven't tightened everything down. It's kind of just loose. I've just got it started. As I was doing that, I did notice the last ride. I noticed it because I had to change an axle, I believe. I don't know. Anyway, I can't remember what it was. In your hub, this is a 21, so it doesn't have the double shear point like the 22s and up. So I have the Shock Therapy toe link kit that keeps that center radius rod from wallering out your hub. The outer side's out, but anyway, the inside's still in there. So I'm going to put a little bit of thread lock in it and get that pushed when I put it back together. I did notice, okay, these are your radial joints in your wheel hub. I did on the last ride, I had one of them kind of busted off here, and it was kind of like a week before when I changed it, and I was like, well, I'll just do something about it next time. So got there, noticed I had one just shattered. It was like gone. Like all of this was just completely gone. So I had to get new radial joints. Now I will tell you, and if you've watched any videos, if you've noticed your radial joints busted up here, these can be replaced without having to get the whole hub. But even if you have to buy the whole hub from BRP, or you can upgrade to the 22, the hub's not going to come with radial joints in it, and it's not going to come with a wheel bearing in it. So you got to push the wheel bearing. You got to get the wheel bearing separate, the radial joints. So I was like, there's nothing wrong with this other than the little radial joint here. So I'm just going to buy new radial joints. And I've heard it's a pain, and it is. It is a pain in the butt. These things are a pain to change. But I'm going to tell you a little secret that we figured out after busting the first one, trying to press it in. See, nothing on these ears is square. So as you can see, it's kind of tapered and stuff like that. So you really can't get a square point. We kind of had to, set up some things and stuff like that to get that to work. But anyway, there is a little clip inside that holds that in. So once you take a little pick or something and get that little clip out, right, then you'll flip it over and then you'll kind of wedge it up to press these out. So once pressing them out, once you kind of rig up a way to do it, it's not that big a deal. Putting them back in is where you gotta be very careful. That's a pain in the butt because nothing's square. You can't just stick it in there and it looks like you're straight and it's not. So we did break a new one. One of them was okay. I ordered all four, but so we had one that was still fine from the other. So we just left that one in and ended up breaking one. So it worked out good. Once you get these out, clean it out real nice. We actually took some Scotch-Brite on like a little drill air tool, and stuck it in there and just kind of shined it up a little bit. I did take these radial joints and stuck them in the freezer the night before. Whether that helps or not, I don't know. But anyway, so put some grease in it, and we tried to push the first one in, and it busted. So it was going in crooked. It looked straight, but it wasn't. So what we did is once we cleaned them up a little bit with Scotch-Brite on the inside and everything, you take this, put it on the vise or something like that, and then start it, which this is the side you'll start. So get it on there started. So that center section's hard. Find you a socket that fits right over top of that, and it just catches on that little lip of the radial joint. And I have an old one. Here we go. So here's the old one that's cracked. This one wasn't that bad, but it had several cracks in it, splits. If you can see, there's several splits for some reason. And then I've got the ones that were really bad. That's one of the ones that came off that was just trashed. So, and then, here's the one that was really, really bad. I mean, it was like, when I took the end off this side, it just metal just fell all to pieces. So find you a socket that goes right over top of that. That's a rubber boot on the top, but that's hard there. So this is what's got to be pressed in and out. So put you some, grease on it. Find a socket, put it on the vise at the top. Take you a socket that fits right over there and just kind of tap it until it looks completely straight and it starts going in there. And then you just kind of keep tapping it in there. You don't even have to press it in. It'll go right in. So The first one we've tried to press and busted. This one, the next three, you just put your socket that fits and grabs that lip right there and just tap it with a hammer and then get a little bit harder once you see it start to go in there. And then once it gets, you know, over about halfway, it just bloop, right in, no problem. Tap it all the way flush because it'll bottom out. It'll bottom out. There's like a little lip inside there that'll bottom out. And then you just put your snap ring, right back in there and you're good to go. So a trick, you do not have to press these back in. If you clean it up good and put some grease on it, it's tight, but if you just keep tapping it so it goes in there straight, perfect. So it'll go right in. So anyway, guys, if you have any questions, I'll try to help you. Just a little tip that I learned doing that. My wheel bearings are good. I was going to change them while I got out, but they're perfect. I checked those before. They're not that old. So I will re-grease the wheel bearings while I have it off. So I'm going to slap it all back together. And I got the new tires and my same wheels, but I put new tires on it, and I'll do a little video of the tires, which ones I got, and stuff like that. So I've got everything ready to put the hub back on, brakes ready to go back together. But just for FYI, these, you can rebuild them. You don't have to buy new radius rods, which is awesome. It's like $100 for the hardware to rebuild your radius rods. A whole lot better than paying $800 for new radius rods. So these little jokers from, I think I got it on Rocky Mountain ATV, and I'll put a link just in case you know. This is a 21. I think they're all the same. These things are like $40 a piece, so that sucks. There's not much to them, but anyway, that, and I just went ahead and got new clips to use those. So hub's ready to go. It's good shape. There's no point. I didn't want to buy the new upgraded hub yet, and plus they were like out of stock. So anyway, any questions you have, these are a pain in the butt. Tap it in. Don't try to just push it because it's almost impossible to just press it right in. It's going to be crooked. It looks straight, but it's not. Tap it, get it, you know, eyeball it. That way you don't waste one like I did, $40 down the drain. But the good thing is we ordered another one. Anyway, all right, we got a ride coming up, trying to get this puppy back together. New tires, I'm kind of excited. Warm weather, and maybe we'll make some videos, this, that, and the other. So stay tuned. Got more stuff to come. Check out the wheels and tires. Went up to a 35, so I'll show you which ones I ended up getting. And subscribe if you haven't already. Hit a like if this was helpful. And like I said again, put some comments. If you have any questions, I'll try to answer it as best as I can. And hopefully that helps somebody not break one or, you know, screw up like I did the first one. And then it's not that big a deal after that. So anyway, thanks guys, and we'll see you next time.